In a hyper-connected world where a signal can reach your pocket in milliseconds, finding a place where the modern world simply cannot reach you is a daunting challenge. You might wonder if it is still physically possible to drop off the grid entirely. Geographers have mapped these coordinates. They are known as poles of inaccessibility, the specific points on the planet that are mathematically the most difficult to reach, whether on land or at sea. Reaching these coordinates reveals strange and unexpected realities about how our planet operates. At these extreme edges, the map looks very different than the one we navigate daily. Our journey leads to two distinct extremes: an island populated by the descendants of just 15 ancestors, and a vast stretch of open ocean that serves as a graveyard for decommissioned spacecraft. Finding true isolation has become a profound test of the limits of human reach. It requires traveling to the literal end of our logistics and our influence. Consider the journey to Tristan da Cunha. Starting from Cape Town, South Africa, you must cross 2,400 kilometers of the South Atlantic. There is no airport, meaning the only access is a 7-day journey by boat across some of the world's roughest seas. This cluster of houses is Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, the island's only settlement. Here, approximately 260 residents live on a narrow strip of land, sandwiched between Bechuanaline and a wall of 800-meter cliffs. When the volcano forming the island erupted in 1961, the entire population was forced to evacuate to England. 2 years later, the islanders chose to leave the safety of Europe and return to this isolated outpost. In the Pacific, Pitcairn Island offers a similar story of endurance. Its current population of fewer than 50 people is descended from the 9 British mutineers who burned their ship in 1790 to ensure they could never be found. Accessing Pitcairn remains a massive challenge. With no harbor, the islanders rely on a cargo ship that arrives only 4 times a year. If the surf is too high at this single viable landing point, the island simply closes to the outside world. Human resilience can carve out a life in these extremes, but these communities remain tethered to the world for their survival. Their isolation is real, but it is supported by the very global systems they sit apart from. If you remove humans from the map, you find Bouvet Island, the most remote uninhabited island on Earth. A Norwegian dependency in the South Atlantic, Bouvet is a volcanic rock where 93% of the land is entombed under thick glacial ice. Without a human presence, nature has completely reclaimed the space. It is dominated by millions of breeding penguins and seals that thrive in an environment too hostile for human settlement. Bouvet Island represents the point where the environment becomes too difficult for our technology to manage, leaving the void to be filled entirely by native wildlife. At the center of the South Pacific Gyre lies Point Nemo, the absolute oceanic pole of inaccessibility. The nearest land is a staggering 2,688 kilometers away. Because of that distance, the closest humans to Point Nemo are often in orbit. When the International Space Station passes overhead, the astronauts 400 kilometers straight up are closer to this coordinate than any person on the planet's surface. In 1997, a massive underwater sound recorded near Point Nemo sparked theories of giant sea monsters. Known as the bloop, the noise was detected across thousands of miles of the Pacific. Hydrophones eventually revealed the source was geological, not biological. The sound was the result of massive ice quakes, Antarctic glaciers cracking and calving into the sea. While Point Nemo is nearly lifeless biologically, it has become a major destination for our technology. It is now known as a spacecraft graveyard. Space agencies use this void to safely decommission equipment. In the last 45 years, more than 260 craft, including rocket parts and space stations, have been crashed into these waters to ensure burning debris avoids populated areas. We have transformed the ultimate natural void into a cosmic dumping ground. We use its emptiness as a safety buffer for the hardware of our most advanced explorations. Despite its geographic isolation, Point Nemo is not untouched. Seawater samples from this remote coordinate reveal a discovery that changes our understanding of the spot. Researchers found up to 26 microplastic particles per cubic meter in the water here. While this is lower than the 357 particles found in the South China Sea, it is still a significant human footprint in a place thousands of kilometers from any city. These particles were carried by rotating ocean currents, traveling across the planet without direct human delivery, proving the South Pacific is linked to our global activity. From the residents of Tristan da Cunha to the spacecraft debris and microplastics of Point Nemo, the map shows a planet that is deeply interconnected. True isolation on Earth has become an illusion. Our presence is visible at every extreme coordinate. If you could travel to any of these remote locations, which one would you choose to see firsthand? Let us know in the comments.